Sometimes I feel like my health anxiety makes me see invisible dangers everywhere. I've spent years worrying about illnesses I might have, symptoms I might develop, or toxins I might be exposed to. But over time, I've learned that one of the best ways to quiet those constant worries is to take control of my environment, especially my home. For me, the idea of building a low-toxin home has been one of the most powerful steps toward not only protecting my health, but also calming the constant storm of anxiety in my head. When I know I'm doing what I can to reduce hidden dangers, I feel safer, calmer, and more in control. When I say low-toxin home, I'm not talking about turning my house into some kind of sterile bubble. I mean creating a healthier environment where I reduce exposure to chemicals and pollutants that might trigger real health issues, or at least trigger my worries about them. It's about making practical changes that lower the risks while also giving me peace of mind. Because if you're anything like me, you know that health anxiety often feeds on uncertainty. The more I eliminate those what-ifs from my daily life, the less my brain has to obsess over. One of the biggest areas I focused on first was the air inside my house. I used to think air pollution was just something you dealt with outdoors, but indoor air can actually be more polluted. That realization set my anxiety off big time. Suddenly I was worrying about mold spores, dust, cleaning fumes, and even off-gassing from furniture. But instead of letting that fear spiral out of control, I started making changes. I bought an air purifier with a HEPA filter and placed it in my bedroom, because that's where I spend the most time. I also started opening windows when the outdoor air quality was good, just to let fresh air circulate. Those two changes made me feel like I could breathe easier, literally and mentally. Knowing the air in my space was cleaner gave me one less thing to obsess about at night. Next, I looked at what I was using to clean my house. This was a big trigger for me, because so many cleaning products are filled with chemicals I couldn't even pronounce. I'd clean my counters and then spend the rest of the night wondering if I had just poisoned myself. I switched to natural cleaning products made with vinegar, baking soda, and essential oils. Not only did that cut down on toxins, but it also quieted that little voice in my head asking, "What's this chemical doing to me long term?" The fewer mystery ingredients around me, the less my anxiety had to latch onto. Another thing that surprised me was just how many toxins come from plastics. I used to microwave food in plastic containers all the time, without thinking twice. Then I read about how chemicals like BPA and phthalates can leach into food, and suddenly every meal felt like a danger zone. That's the kind of thing that can keep me up at night, imagining all the invisible damage I might have done. I switched over to glass storage containers, stainless steel water bottles, and cast iron or stainless steel cookware instead of non-stick pans. At first, it felt like overkill, but honestly, it gave me a huge sense of relief. Now, when I reheat leftovers, I don't spiral into panic afterward. Small swaps like that have really added up for me. One area that really shocked me was personal care products. Shampoos, deodorants, lotions, all of them can contain ingredients that our skin absorbs. I remember standing in the shower one day reading the back of a shampoo bottle and realizing I didn't know what half the ingredients even were. Of course, my anxious brain immediately went to worst-case scenarios: cancer, hormonal issues, neurological problems. Instead of letting that panic eat me alive, I started replacing products one by one. I looked for deodorants without aluminum, shampoos without sulfates or parabens, and toothpaste without fluoride or artificial dyes. I'm not perfect. I still use regular products here and there, but knowing I've swapped most of them out has really reduced that background hum of worry. Even the furniture and fabrics in my home became a focus. I learned that things like couches, carpets, and curtains can release chemicals called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. At first, that knowledge was paralyzing, like, how am I supposed to replace my entire house? But then I realized I didn't have to do it all at once. Little by little, I've been choosing healthier options. I got a rug made from natural fibers like wool, and I started using a mattress protector designed to block allergens. Even washing new clothes or bedding before using them helps reduce chemical residues. These may seem like small things, but every time I make a healthier choice, I feel a little more empowered and a little less anxious. What's been amazing about this journey is how the act of building a low-toxin home doesn't just improve my physical environment, it directly impacts my mental health. Every change I make gives me proof that I'm not powerless. I'm taking action instead of just worrying. That shift in mindset has been huge for my health anxiety. Instead of lying awake, imagining all the invisible toxins attacking me, I can remind myself, I've done something about it. I've made my environment safer. That's a kind of reassurance my anxious brain really responds to. I also want to be clear that this isn't about perfection. I still have items in my home that aren't perfectly non-toxic. I still eat food from takeout containers sometimes, or use regular hand soap if that's all that's available. But what I've learned is that it's about progress, not perfection. Every step I take reduces both the physical risks and the mental load of worrying. And when I do come across something that triggers my anxiety, I'm able to remind myself of the dozens of changes I've already made. That perspective helps keep me from spiraling. Living with health anxiety is hard. It makes you feel like you're constantly under attack from dangers no one else even notices. But building a low-toxin home has given me a sense of control I didn't have before. It's not about living in fear, it's about creating a space where I can breathe easier, literally and mentally. I know I can't control everything, but I can control a lot more than I thought. And that makes a huge difference in both my overall health and my peace of mind.